Hello everyone, this is Jesse Phillips from Waypoint Technology Group. Just wanted to give you guys another quick tech tip on NYSNet single base RTK setup and Trimble access. So we're going to be going over the NYSNet RTN or real-time network, how to sign up for that, how to get a login and password, and then how to set it up in Trimble access in the data collector so you can get real-time corrections in the field with a GNSS receiver. A few things you'll need today. You'll need a Trimble data collector like a TSC5 or TSC7. You'll need a connection to the internet for that data collector, whether it's through a SIM card you have in the data collector or through a hotspot. You'll need Trimble access in the data collector and a PC with an internet connection for going to the NYSNet website and signing up for a username and password. So we can start at the NYSNet website. You'll go to cors.dot.ny.gov. There should be an option to create an account if you don't already have one. If you click on create account, take you to the sign up page where you'll need to enter your name, company, email information like that, but most importantly, your username and password. It's up to you as far as username and password. If you leave Ntrip username and password blank, you'll just have one username and password, both for logging into this website for account management, and then you use the same password when you're trying to access the corrections on a data collector. If you want the data collector, the password that you use in the GNSS contact to be different for some reason, maybe you want a simpler password for that, a simpler username, you can enter a unique username and password here under Ntrip username and password. Once you fill all that out, you should get an activation email from NYSNet, and eventually you'll be able to log in to this website. This website has some great resources, including an FAQ link here at the bottom. This explains a little bit about the registration process. You'll actually receive a total of 3 emails during the registration process. It says to wait for the third one, which states your subscription package has been activated before trying to log in to the real-time network or the website. And that third email will contain the URL address and information on how to find the ports and mount points for real-time network access. It is a little bit of a process. There are a few emails you need to get before you can actually use this. So don't wait till the last minute when you actually want to use the RTN in the field. Try to do it in advance. There are some really good features of the website. In the account details tab, you can look at your user profile where you can change your password information if need be, or verify your password. Station quality, you can look at all the different reference stations around the state. You can see what ones may be having a problem. It has like an exclamation point, but if everything is good, it's operating correctly, there should be a green check. You can also sort by these different categories, like what satellite systems each reference station is utilizing. Some are just using GPS and GLONASS, while others are using GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, and Beidou. So you'll get a better solution from those for sure. The Rtn Map is a really good one too. It shows you where the reference stations are throughout New York, and even some in New Jersey. So if you're in the northern part of New Jersey, you could probably also utilize NYSNet. It's RTN ports and mount points. There's a lot of good information here too, as far as which we'll plug in later in access. You'll take note of these are the main mount points that you'll be using here and the port that you'll need. The product descriptions is also a good tab. It explains what exactly these mount points are. So today we're going to be connecting to the near MSM mount point for a single base RTK correction. But you can also connect to if you want a network RTK solution, this net MSM IMAX mount point. So once you have signed up, you have your username and password, it says you're activated, you've gotten all 3 emails, you're good to go and try this out. Next, you'll need to go to Access, and you want to create a survey style. So if we go to the burger button, Settings, Survey Styles, you can create a new one here. We'll call it NYSNet. Ensure that the type is GNSS. hit accept. Then we'll go into the rover options. Survey type will be RTK. The broadcast format, this is the important one. To do a single base RTK solution, you'll want to use multi-station RTCM. To do network RTK or use the Net MSM IMAX mount point, you'd have to set it to BRS RTCM. But we're going to do the single base. Personally, we've had better results with a single base RTK. So multi-station RTCM will be the broadcast format. You'll choose your antenna type and say R12. You want to make sure all these are checked, especially L5 and BEDO, because as you saw, some of the reference stations are actually tracking BEDO. You'll hit accept, and then the other important setting is in rover data link. We're going to change this from radio to internet connection, and then it's going to prompt you for a GNSS contact. If you hit this little right arrow here, it'll take you to the connections menu where you can create a new GNSS contact. So hit new. You can call this NYSNet or whatever you'd like to call it. Ensure it says network connection will be the controller internet, because your data collector will either be connected to a hotspot or it has its own internal SIM card. Then you'll want to click on this corrections tab here. You're not going to use RTX. You are going to use ntrip. Use proxy server, no. We're not going to connect directly to the mount point, so we have options when connecting. If you say connect directly to the mount point, you'd have to enter the mount point name. Like you could enter near MSM here, just so it connected directly to it without having a choice, but most people like an option to what mount point they're going to connect to, so we can leave that to off. Here you're going to enter your ntrip username and password. The IP address, they may have provided you with an alphanumeric IP address. We've had better success with this one. It's all numbers, 161.11.223.1. And then the port, if you remember from the NYSNet website, will be port 8080. We'll hit enter, store, accept, accept. All these other settings in the survey style are up to your personal preferences as far as how you want topo points stored or observed control points. So before you exit out of here, though, make sure you hit store. So now we have our NYSNet survey style to test. So since I have a GNSS emulator going, I can test this out. If I go to the burger button, now as far as you're going to want to make sure you're connected to your GNSS receiver, and it shows you're connected up at the top here, and that you're tracking satellites. You've got at least 4 satellites. We'll go to the burger button to measure, and then we'll try out this new survey style NYSNet, and we'll measure points. Ensure your data collector has a connection to the internet. Then you'll see you'll have these different options for mount points. We've had the best success with the near MSM, the near site RTK. Over here to the right, you can look at some of the details of that mount point. So once you highlight near MSM, click accept, it should establish a connection. Once initialized, you should see your precisions up here with a green check, and you should be good to go. You should be getting real-time corrections using the NYSNet real-time network. That's how to set up a NYSNet single base RTK and Trimble Access. Once again, I'm Jesse Phillips of Waypoint Technology. If you guys have any questions about this video or any questions about other Trimble hardware or software, please feel free to reach out, either by email at techsupport@waypointtech.com, through our help portal at waypoint.freshdesk.com, or at the number above. Thanks a lot, guys.